What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? It's your boy Max Gallegos here with another sports rant. And oh boy, do we have a show for you. Sound the sirens. Strap up your helmets, ladies and gentlemen. The Oklahoma City Thunder are rumbling. They are now up 2-0 on the Minnesota Timberwolves going into Game 3. Both games were decided very much by very, very key plays happening. Players play. SGA received the MVP trophy at the beginning of the game and earned it during the game. He dropped 38 points, but he was the only one. The entire Thunder team is just eviscerating the Minnesota Timberwolves completely. Julius Randle has been not only neutralized, but a complete non-factor. He scored 6 points today. That is some Rudy Gobert-like numbers coming from a guy who we had seen in these playoffs seem to have exercised his playoff demons. Even in Game 1, he looked better. He was hitting shots, though the defense from OKC was definitely giving him trouble because it's not Rui Hachimura, it's not Luka, it's not even Draymond. This is a question of Julius Randle. I want to talk about Julius Randle's thing first, his struggles first and foremost. His struggles have been interesting because his struggles have happened not because OKC has better defenders than Draymond Green. Draymond Green is the best defender he's faced in these playoffs, and he kind of punked him. Draymond Green admitted that he lost that matchup. But Julius Randle in this series has to step up because he is facing Alex Caruso, Lou Dort, Isaiah Hartenstein on switches, all of which can guard him, and all of which proved that they can guard him tonight. And Anthony Edwards, his 32 points alone, that won't get him through. Even Jaden McDaniels, 22 points, it didn't matter. He was getting absolutely burned by SGA. Getting to the basket, absolutely just getting eviscerated. And it feels like we've gotten to the point now, the same point that we were last year with the Boston Celtics, where it was like, you know what? We know OKC is the best team here. They have made it apparent and obvious, and it feels like their defense has stepped up a notch because they realized that, our hardest defensive task was last series, was Nikola Jokic. Julius Randle's a piece of cake compared to Nikola Jokic. We held that guy down. We should be able to not just hold Julius Randle down, but make him a non-factor. We could do that to Anthony Edwards. We could do that to anybody. So they're coming into this, even though they went 7 games with Nuggets, they're going into this incredibly confidently. They understand everything, and they're incredible. They're very, very well coached. And it's just like Dante, even like these, they have to have more. I think this is the first series that the Timberwolves have had that somebody can match their bench play, their energy guys. The Oklahoma City Thunder have more energy guys, better energy guys, younger energy guys than the Timberwolves. And it's just plain, it's showing on the stat sheet. Dante DiVincenzo, 8 points. Kind of a non-factor. Naz Reid, non-factor. Neil Alexander Walker had 17, but still compared to the Jalen Williams 26, Chet Holmgren 22, SGA 38, and just doing the details. That was something that SGA mentioned in his MVP speech. It was we gotta get the we're harped on for the details. It's something that Bill Belichick in New England was known for. That was his bread and butter. That was his baby. Do your job, do the details. Get everything meticulously down and you will win. That was the formula, that was the strategy. That's been the strategy all along. That's been the strategy all year. And they have executed so far in this series. It does go to Minnesota. I think Minnesota might steal a game or two at home. But as we've seen in both of these games, after 2 games, you can kind of get the feel of the series. If you're up 2-0, yeah, Minnesota might win a game or two at home. But or have like a no shit game, maybe win a couple games. But OKC is the better team. If you just watch a little bit of basketball, this is apparent. And I really like. My heart goes out to the T Wolves because you have one of the best young stars, if not the best young star, in Anthony Edwards. They made it to the conference championships back-to-back years. You would really, really hope that they would deliver this time, but it's trending, and I could be wrong. I've been known to be wrong before, but it is trending in the direction of, yeah, you know what? This isn't working. We've gone to the conference championships twice in the last 2 seasons. Our roster is getting older and expensive. Do we shake things up? Move Naz Reid? Move. I think that would kill the fan base. But Naz Reid, Rudy Gobert has just been absolutely punked in these first 2 games because he has just been really just nowhere. He is touted for his defensive prowess. He has 4 defensive players of the year. But he gets burned on the perimeter. He gets clowned by bigger and stronger centers. So I don't really like whenever. So yes, it's easy to block a shot from a 6'2" guard driving in a lane. You're 7'2". You're a foot taller than him. You should. So the concern that I have, I don't see really the value in him. I know Chris Finch knows a lot more basketball than I do, but why he doesn't really provide that much. Even in the offensive rebound, we've seen Lu Dort rip the ball out of his hands. It's nope. Defense, even on the defensive glass, yank it away from him. So Halliburton gets a lot of shit for being the most overrated player. It really is Rudy Gobert, and it's really obvious. But that's probably all I have to say about these NBA playoffs. I put on a tie and a nice collared shirt. Got dressed up for you guys today because I got to break some big news to you. Very important. Very crazy. My favorite sport in the entire world, not basketball, not football, not baseball or hockey, though I love every sport. My favorite sport in the entire freaking world is track and field. And I thought I would talk about the UNM track and field team. They are heading to the uh, West Regionals, National Championship Regionals in this upcoming regionals championship. So it'll be like there's a West. The way it's the NCAA divides it up is there's Western prelims, there's Eastern prelims. The winners of those prelims race each other in the national championship, usually in Oregon. But last year it was in Oregon. But I wanted to highlight a couple things. First of all, the UNM women's track and field and cross country, rather, that too, swept cross country championships, Mountain West champions. They were the champions in the indoor track and field and the champions of the outdoor track and field. So, congrats to them. That was insanely impressive. And the athletes that I would like to highlight and talk about is on the men's side, Mr. Cam Watts, who is a freak, to say the least. His PB in the 100 meters is a 10:08. So he is also not just a collegiate sprinter. He's also a UNM's plays football for UNM as a safety. He tried out with the Saints and the Chiefs recently, and he is qualified to run at the national prelims, the West prelims in these upcoming prelims. So it's pretty exciting. Also, another guy I would like to highlight. He probably is the best athlete at UNM right now. Not the most famous, not the most. He probably is. He is the most successful. The national champion, the national runner-up in cross country twice in a row, Mr. Haptem Samuel. He runs. He will. He qualified in both the men's 5K and 10K. We'll see what he is. He is a lot better of a 10K runner, but these guys are inspiring, especially Mr. Haptem Samuel. And I will talk about his story until the day I die, because he is an impressive human being. What he does on the track is mind-boggling. Last year during the national championship 10K race, there were 2 laps to go. This is crunch time. This is like 2 minutes left in the fourth quarter, right? And he tripped. There was a stumble. He fell over. He was back. He was favored in this race. Blah blah blah. Whatever. He trips, falls, gets back up. With 2 laps to go, kicks it into an entirely different gear, and wins. Daps. Solos. That last 200 meters was cinema. You watch. I will link it below because it is awe-inspiring. And that's not the only feat he's done. Speaking of feat, during the 2024 cross-country national championships, he was positioned at around, I think it was around 5,000 meters, 5K. So they run a 10. For those who don't know, the cross-country national championships, cross-country, collegiate cross-country, they run 10K, which is, in American terms, it's 6.1 miles, roughly. 6.1. Actually, I'll double check. But 6.2 miles, excuse me. So 5K into that race. It is cold. It is wet. It's in Wisconsin in November. He loses his shoe. He lost his shoe and he still got second place, which is insane. It was. I remember when I saw it, I was like, "Dang, because I was really banking home for him uh, to get the natty, and it was just impressive because it's like the kid from Harvard won the day, but Hampton Samuel won the heart, and what he does that's what he does. It is in the biggest moments something happens to him, but he doesn't let it hurt him. It is inspiring. It is so incredibly inspiring, and I will glaze the shit out of him till the day I die. I see him all the time running around UNM campus. He is an incredible athlete. He's not talked about enough. He is a national champion. And interviews, anything, walk up to him probably whenever. Humblest guy. Just run, race. Like it's always about the race. Thank you, God. Back to there's no ego. This is a truly amazing and inspiring athlete. But also, and I am excited just to watch. This is track and field is so fun to watch because I feel like New Mexico has the most underrated track and field athletes. Another crazy track and field athlete from New Mexico. He's a high schooler. Give me 1 second. Mr. Charlie Voss from Rio Rancho High School. At the NAX and at the Nike Cross Country Nationals. So let me give some backstory because not very many people know this. Not very many people follow cross country very closely, or at all, for that matter. The cross country that works in there's you can go to state if you are fast enough. You can go to nationals. Like there's certain levels of nationals, but the Nike cross country nationals is like the pinnacle of nationals. So that's like the top echelon of running in America in high school. That's the highest you can run at. And Charlie Voss was not considered a front runner in this race at all. He was not the one talked about winning this race, what have you. But the weather got rough. It started raining. It was muddy and cold and miserable. And the kid from New Mexico, the state that most people don't even know, couldn't point out on a map that thinks are part of another country, comes out and steals the show and wins the entire race. After that race, he was named Gatorade Runner of the Year, or Gatorade Player of the Year. He's a runner, but he committed to BYU. This kid is incredible. And that's not to mention what happened just recently in the New Mexico 5A state championships. Him and there was another athlete, Mr. Corbin Combs from Oregon Mountain High School in Las Cruces. They both broke the New Mexico 5A state record. Corbin Combs ran 850 in the 2 mile, or the 3,200 meters. Charlie Voss ran an 8:59. These are like national level times. They are some of the best athletes in the nation, and they deserve a lot more praise than they get. I feel like that's something that kind of gets overlooked a lot track and field, especially in track and field, even in track and field, it's like, oh, whenever we talk about track and field, we talk about Usain Bolt. 100 meters, 9.5. Insane. Talk about the sprinters, right? We don't really talk about the distance guys. The guys who run more laps, probably spend more time running, work harder, talk like they're the pinnacle of just being like, yeah, just put my head down, work hard. You ask any track coach from at any level, so yeah, who's your like hardest worker? Who's the ones who show up every day and don't really complain about their long, painful uh, drills, workouts? It's the distance guys. There are some exceptions for sure, but these guys are cut from a different cloth. New Mexican runners, the ones who run for UNM, Josh Kerr ran for UNM. Josh Kerr, if you don't know who Josh Kerr is, Josh Kerr is a world champion in the 1500 meters, or the almost a mile. He is a silver and bronze medalist in that same event at the Olympics. And he was the first UNM track athlete to run sub 4. He has kind of been the catalyst for the UNM track program being what it is today. For us being able to bring in guys like Hapham Samuel. But it's truly awe-inspiring. And it's brought in tons of different guys. We have now in the men's distance, we have had now. Oh, I don't want to butcher his name. Evans Gilglapet, who also, like Hapham, is running the 5K and the 10K at the prelims, the West prelims. Collins, Kripchogic, is going to be running the men's 5K. Matthew Elderdory will be running the men's 1500 meters. Emmanuel Kipkuri will be also running the 5K and the 10K. That usually how that works is these guys will you can only run like a certain amount of distance per meet, and the meet lasts 2 days. For those who don't know, and so these guys will have to, like, if they're like, oh, you know what, I'm gonna focus on either the 5K or the 10K, and whichever one they feel more comfortable, their coach, they'll talk it over with the coach, see what they want to do for like points, or just in an individual, like for individual purposes, for other stuff. So they'll kind of discuss it and see, like, okay, well, we can get more points here if you run the 5K, or if you run the 10K as a more personal right, just as an example. And so that's kind of where, so they'll pick if in the prelims if they want to go for either or. But also we have Matthew Korsegi, who will be running the 3K steeple, which, if those who don't know, the steeplechase is 3,000 kilometers, and then there's obstacles, and then there's one obstacle in the middle of the track, and then there's one big obstacle that everybody has to run over with the water pit. That's the one you always see, but you don't see it in high school because a lot of tracks are not equipped for it. But that's cool. That's awesome. We also have Iker Sanchez, who qualified in the men's 5K. So this is, we have. Wait, hold on. Let me see again. Oh, there's so many. In distance alone, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 11 guys qualified for the West prelims. It was really impressive. Mr. Thomas Termote, Vincent Gurichir, and like these are both going to be. Vincent is going to be running the 5K and the 10K, and Thomas Treachemote will be also running the men's 10K. So exciting stuff. And that's not even mentioning like Cam Watts, who is a beast. Like just give him like flowers to him, because that's being a dual sport athlete in college, but also doing it for New Mexico. That's what really gets to me. I feel like noticed and recognized. Getting workouts with NFL teams is a safety. Like, that's crazy. That's something you don't see. Like, I feel like I feel as a New Mexican that our state does kind of get overlooked. Especially because we don't have the sports. Like, Alabama has Alabama Crimson Tide football. Even West Virginia, their football team is just known. Like, people are like, oh yeah, I know what like West Virginia football. That's where Geno Smith went, right? People ask where did Brian Urlacher go to college? New Mexico, right? Only true ball knowers will know that one, but most people didn't. It feels, it brings me joy when guys like this, of this caliber, guys like Donovan Dent, are here. Guys like Nelly Jr. Joseph, who is also just a stud. It makes me emotional because it feels like they are fighting. It feels like I'm part of it. Because I've never had that. I've never had the athletes live in my area. There's no pro sports teams here, and New Mexico is a great place and has the energy. And if you ever go to a game, a basketball game at the Pit, it's electric. We need to support but we also need to support our national champion, and we need to support our track and field program, which is very successful. But that's probably all that I'm going to be ranting about tonight. I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your night, rest of your day, whenever you're listening to this. But also, before you go, please go like my Instagram at Another Sports Rant. I'll link it below. My TikTok at Another Sports Rant. My X at Another Sports Rant, or Twitter at Another Sports Rant. And yeah, leave a comment, like, subscribe. You know the drill. But yeah, always believe in yourself. I love you guys. Bye.